And we now turn to the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Idaho Republican James Risch. Senator, welcome back to the NewsHour. Let's start with the big picture and what you just heard from Senator Menendez there. Fears about the strategy and fears that the U.S. isn't, as he put it, cashing in. Do you believe that the U.S. has a strategy that is successful and effective right now?
You know, I not only believe that, I also believe that their options are very, very narrow. Our options are very, very narrow. I have real confidence in the strategy that is being pursued and also the team that's pursuing it. We had a number of people in front of us today briefing us, including the Secretary of State, the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, Acting Secretary of Defense, who talked about how they came together and have responded to the recent uptick of activity on the part of the Iranians. I think they handled it absolutely as well as it could be handled. And look, we do not want war with the Iranians. You've heard the president say that. There isn't anybody in this building that wants war with the Iranians. Having said that, the ball's in their court. They every day commit malign activity that is designed to aggravate us, to hurt us. Indeed, there's thousands of U.S. soldiers that were killed or injured in recent years in the Middle East, all because of Iran's malign activity. So the ball's in their court. They've been told by the UN what they can't do, and they know that the malign things that they're doing, like being the chief sponsor of terrorism in the world, really, that can't continue. You know, this business of launching a rocket attack on our embassy in Iraq is an attack against U.S. soil. People are saying, oh, the president wants to go to war. If he wanted to go to war, he had a perfect excuse right there. And instead,
let me ask you about that attack, Mr. Chair. Sorry to, forgive me for interrupting, but let me ask you about that attack. Are you suggesting that Iran specifically ordered that attack on the U.S. embassy?
I am. I think that what you have is people who are either Iranian or who are proxies who have been armed, trained, and ordered to commit those attacks, and I include this one in those attacks as having done that. So look, whether it's Iranians or whether it's their proxies, the Hezbollah or the Houthis or radical Shia groups that are active in Iraq, if they're armed by, trained by, and ordered by Iran to commit an attack, as far as I'm concerned, that's an attack by Iran. That's, if you hire somebody to do something, you can't say, well, I'm not responsible for this. Of course they are responsible for this.
Senator Risch, in the minute or so we have left, as you heard Senator Menendez say, and Democrats have said this all day, that they risk a miscalculation, that they risk increasing U.S. forces to the region where U.S. forces are operating near Iranian forces. There could be some kind of accident, some kind of miscalculation. Do you worry about that right now?
Of course, everybody worries about miscalculations, but it's going to be miscalculations on the part of the Iranians. We know what we're doing. We know where we're going. We know what the intelligence is. I think the Iranians have a tendency to miscalculate. I really believe that the action that's been taken by the administration, sending the naval forces that they did, sending the bombers that they did, convinced the Iranians that they were miscalculating it. And if they keep picking at us like they are, they're going to have direct deaths of Americans. And nobody's going to stand by and let Iran do that. They need to stand down. They need to recalculate and recalibrate what they're doing, and everything's going to be just fine if they'll do that.
Senator James Risch, Republican of Idaho and chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, thank you very much.
Thank you.